Part 2's got a really funky beat. What's up guys, thanks for coming back for part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, I have no idea what you're doing here. Put a little iCard up in the top corner or whatever. If for some reason you neglected the link and you didn't watch part 1 and you want to be brought back up to speed, here's what happened in part 1. So we cleaned the carb, or at least we thought we had the carb cleaned. Come to find out there was a jet that was completely missed and it was totally blocking. We got to put back together. It started right up and it sounded just fine. Figured out that there was some transmission problems with it, decided to pawn that off into part 2. Just realized I made a 25-minute video for something that I just explained in 13 seconds. If at any point in the video I say something or do something that leaves you wanting more, consider subscribing. Hopefully you find value and entertainment from this channel. Here goes part 2. Oh boy, I recognize that smell from a mile away. Yep, we got a little critter home in there. Let me get some gloves on. Looks like they're gone. So that belt was not on there. Maybe that's what our issue was. Looks like they chewed the belt up a little bit, but it's not in terrible condition. I'm shifting the gears. There's a cable that's linked to an arm in there that kind of clamps down on whichever gear you want it, low speed or a high speed, and that appears to be doing just fine. This is a tensioner pulley that's linked to the cable, so when you pull the self-propel, it will, I'm going to assume it goes out that way, or it just kind of turns or pivots or whatever, and then it puts tension on this belt. So that's the tension that it's at, and then that's the engaged tension, unengaged, engaged. There's a little cable right there that'll pull that whole thing to engagement. This drive pulley has a lot of play in it. So that's engaged. I'm just going to turn it around like normal and see how it wants to dismantle itself. That play that you're seeing in there, that is the reason why that is happening. See that? Like, I just need the wheels up and off a little bit. I have the bail lever clamped down, so that should give us power to the wheels. So if you see that wheel wants to spin, and I think the other wheel is off screen over on this side, but it is spinning as well. And then that's in 5th gear, so I'm going to go all the way down to 1st, and they should spin even slower. Yeah, so they're barely moving. I'm gonna get some of this stuff brushed off a little bit more. I'm just gonna fire it up. I just wanna see how it does as is. I just wanna run it through. I believe there's a bearing in there that's coming up out of that case, that clamshell, and that might be what's bad, but who knows yet. The suspense is just driving me nuts. First of all, I'm just gonna see if anything catches. And if it does, I'll probably start at 1st gear, maybe go back and forth a couple times, 2nd gear, so on and so forth, and just kind of run it up. I will also keep it running just to make sure that belt doesn't slip off. I know we still have to address that bearing issue or whatever that play is in there. turned out to be a little bit better than I thought it would, which is awesome. So cleaning it is still in order. Sharpening the blade, and I'm sure there's grease points under those wheels. Just hitting it with grease, and a couple odds and ends stuff is how we'll finish this up. I did pull that starter off earlier in the video, so that's our keeper, and we'll list that later. So here's going to be the plan with that transmission. It still needs attention. I'm not saying that it doesn't. So this is one of those transmissions that I was talking about. That bearing is in there, and it's a pain and a half to get that out of there. It's necessary and it needs to come out. I obviously have 3 of these, like we said in the last video. So that bearing is what's causing that play, and I can verify that, but 99% that's the reason. So that's that bearing in there, which you have to access it from the inside. You have to break this clamshell open. I am not going to change that in this video just because it would be too in-depth, or I wouldn't do it a good enough service to make sure that everybody knew exactly what was going on. So I'm going to make, I don't want to call it a part 3 just because I don't want to drag this out, but I want to make another video. It's February 21st, 2021. I'm going to try to do it before the end of the winter. So when I do that, which will be in like a month or so, one of those 3, I'm assuming, is going to have internal parts that are just busted up, and then we'll part that one out. Obviously, it works as is. I will do that, is my point. And if you're a follower of this channel, you'll probably see it at some point. Thank you in advance, by the way, for watching that video that's not even shot yet. For now, this one is good.
This is the hour, the darkest place. Dante's Inferno, the devil's maze. It's a good world, good world going bad. Fast. Half the people dying while the rest of us are splitting hairs. It's a good world gone bad.
That's gonna do it. Thank you guys for joining once again. I can't appreciate you more for watching. If you've made it this far, I don't know what to say. Thank you. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate every single interaction that you guys have with me and this channel. Inside of that belt housing, I think clearing out a lot of that crap helped with that derailing issue. That's the only thing that I can think of that has caused that thing to stop. I understand the bearing still needs attention and we still need to figure out something there. Short term it might be okay, but definitely mid or long term, we got to get that figured out. I will eventually make a video out of those transmissions, probably just disassembling and reassembling. I'm sure someone somewhere would find the information valuable because they have that same thing. And I will use this as a beautiful and glorious opportunity to segue into saying, hopefully, I've earned your subscription, and if I have, thank you. If you have the notifications turned on, you'll see when I post that video, and then you can be happy and I'll be happy, and we'll all just kind of go on our merry way. I will likely list this. It's February 24th. I'll probably throw it up in the middle of March for 175. That might be a little bit of a stretch. That's missing that bag piece. It's kind of missing a couple other parts. You know, I'm gonna list it for 175. I'll probably, my reserve price will probably be 150. Hopefully that starter sells and that'll add to the gravy on the biscuit. If you'd like, you can follow me on social media at chrisxoutdoors, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you have, say hello. I'd love to hear what you're working on. If you like, you can send me an email, chrisxoutdoors@icloud.com. If you're an email person, that's cool. It comes right to my phone. Well, the social media comes right to my phone too, but whatever. It just comes right here. So until the next time, thank you for watching. Later.